I think it's easy for us to understand why goals are helpful. At their core, goals provide direction. A good goal will tell you where you're going. It is the X on your map, the quest you decided to pick up, the thing that can provide your journey with meaning. It's the light at the end of the tunnel, and without any goals, you might as well be sitting in darkness, even if you think you have the perfect systems and habits in place. But I think there's this misconception surrounding goals in today's world, and how necessary goals are to achieve what we want in our lives. Yes, habits and systems are vital to the completion of our goals and our desired outcomes, but I think we need to be reminded from time to time that systems and habits, while necessary in their own right, cannot exist in the absence of a goal. Because without that direction, where are we going? How can we expect the habits that we implement in our lives to be sustainable if there isn't something for us to work towards, or even something just to sit with and experience? Goals can provide us with a purpose. I bring this up because over the past few years or so, I've seen creators out there that package their videos or posts surrounding this, debate of goals versus systems in a confusing manner. Even the messaging inferred in a simple video title or thumbnail can get us thinking about something in the wrong way. I've seen so many titles out there, from goal setting is a hamster wheel, learn to set systems, or goals are for losers, or even something as basic as how to set systems instead of goals. That last one doesn't sound too crazy, but I find that word instead to be a little deceiving, as if to imply that the idea of having goals should be discarded entirely, when the truth is that systems don't replace goals. They are a means to achieve them. And I get it. As a creator myself, these titles and messages are simply trying to make the content more appealing to interact with. But I find that there are many people out there that really take those messages to heart. People that either genuinely believe that goals are a waste of time, or that simply forget how important it is to set themselves up with some sort of direction in the first place. Which actually brings up something else that I see quite often as well, and that is when goal setting is suggested and talked about online, there's this obsession with creating quote-unquote smart goals. The idea being that every single goal should be crafted using the same framework. Goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And if our goal doesn't meet that collective criteria, it means that it's bad or incomplete for some reason. And look, just like with building systems, there's nothing wrong with having a SMART goal. And in many cases, it may be exactly what you need to get a big project done. But I also find that sometimes my own goals are much less specific than that, and sometimes I don't even realize when I've lost sight of them. A classic example of a goal like this would be something as simple as maybe, playing a certain game or a certain character or role just for fun. I know, such a novel concept. But when you think about it, having fun can be your purpose for doing something. It may not be a SMART goal, but it is still just as valid. And I wanted to bring that up because admittedly, it can be easy to forget a goal when it has a bit less structure to it. That goal of having fun, for example, will slip from my mind from time to time when I'm playing WoW. Sometimes it's just the instinctual habit of logging in, even if I don't necessarily have a plan, and I'm just kind of standing around outside the auction house or something, playing without purpose. I think we've all been there at some point, just the underlying addiction taking the reins for a little bit, I guess. But sometimes it's my other goals that I may have, and the intentional systems I've put in place to optimize my playtime that end up blinding me. For example, maybe one of my other goals for a particular season is to get AOTC or Keystone Master. I'll create the systems that I feel I need to help me achieve those goals, but sometimes the grind will get to me. Sometimes the groups I've joined don't go very well, and progress slows down, if not in some cases, coming to a halt for a time. And that's all normal, of course. There's always some sort of struggle when you work towards something. The path to your destination is never a straight line, but the issues always come when I refuse to take a break from it, when I choose to push through that grind to get to where I want to be, and it's when I basically force myself to abide by the systems I've created to get me there. And in that process, there will be times where I lose sight of my most important goal, my real purpose for playing the game to begin with, which is to have fun. And that's why I think it's important to recognize your goals and your purpose for doing anything, even if and when it's not necessarily specific. Just remember that systems and goals are not separate. They work together. To forget about your goals is to forget about your purpose, after all. And don't stop building those systems and those habits. Just don't forget why you're doing those things to begin with. That's going to do it for me for today. I'd love to hear about how you view your own goals and the systems that accompany them down in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.